You know that feeling in the run up to Christmas when you can start to feel the stress creeping in and you feel like there's so much to do? Well, today I'm going to inspire you to get organized with some really useful tips and hacks with the help of my fabulous guest, Rebecca, because this can really help reduce stress and create more space for joy in your life. But first, let me just introduce myself. If you don't know who I am Becky, the founder and creative director of the homeware brand Shea Becky, and I believe the kitchen is the heart of the home. And I'm really excited today to be interviewing Rebecca, who is all about helping us fall in love with our homes again by organising, decluttering and styling your space, which I just love. Rebecca is a professional home organiser and stylist based in Woodstock, covering clients in and around the Oxfordshire and the Cotswolds. She has an absolute passion for organising, decluttering and styling in order to bring people more structure and control, happiness and calm at home. She started her business, Rebecca's Home Sort, 2 years ago because she wanted people to fall in love with their homes again. There are 3 main areas she can help you with: organising, decluttering and styling, but she tailors her service to perfectly fit your individual needs. She's a mother of 2 little ones, so understands how hard it can be to keep on top of the clutter and chaos that comes with having a family. And her background in marketing and brands means she's also very creative with a keen eye for detail. So from pantries to playrooms and all that's in between, she might just be the fairy godmother you're looking for. So whether you need help with better organising your kitchen cupboards, blitzing the kids' bedrooms, or styling your home in order to sell it, she is your girl. So Rebecca, thank you so much for being here today. It's lovely to have
you. Thank you for
How
having
did you
me.
get into home organising?
Well, I've always been into interior design, and I was actually chatting to my husband the other day. I think if I was sort of 12, 13 years old and someone said, what do you want to be when you're older? I'd have said an interior designer. But I didn't take that route, and I didn't take the creative route. And my background is actually in marketing and brands, as you've said in my intro. And I worked for 14 years in the toy industry. And it's kind of ironic that I've been selling and promoting toys for most of my career, and now I spend a lot of time decluttering and helping people get rid of toys. But I basically went on maternity leave back in 2018 from a toy company. And long story short is I had my year off, not a year off, but my year at home with my son. And I ended up taking redundancy and never went back. I then, we had our daughter in 2020, just before the lockdown began. So any plans of sort of setting up my own business, I was looking at doing sort of freelance or consulting in marketing, that went on the back burner when everyone went in lockdown. But we all spent a lot of time in our homes that year, didn't we? And we had grown as a family, and I spent a lot of time reorganizing. I've always been a very meticulously organized, tidy person, but organizing things in a different way. So, you know, putting in structures and storage things that are kid friendly, just to make our lives at home easier. You know, whether that's zoning rooms, we don't have a playroom, the kids were sharing a bedroom, kids come with a lot of stuff. And the more I did in our own home, as well as making it look pretty along the way, it brought me and our family lots of joy in a sort of difficult lockdown period. And I just thought, I could do this for a living. I love it. I'm good at it. I really think I could help other people. And yeah, the idea was born. And 2 years ago, I set up Rebecca's Home Sort as a sort of passion project and side hustle. And now it's my everything.
Amazing, amazing. Well, I can tell you love it just by the way you talk about it. And what I love about you say that, you know, real homes and realistic solutions, because it can conjure up images of when somebody says, like, you know, home organizing, I can think of that perfect picture you get in
Yeah.
a glossy magazine, which for me
Yeah,
is just
Pinterest.
completely unrealistic. Like, who
Yeah.
lives like that? I don't know. So that sounds really much more my style anyway, like a real solution.
Yeah.
Progress, not perfection, you say.
Yeah. And that is, you know, real people, real homes, realistic solutions. And that is something I'm passionate about. You know, don't get me wrong. I love a sexy before and after, and you know, reels showing these dramatic transformations. It's what I do. And you know, with clients' permission, I always take before and afters so that if I'm allowed, I can share it. Um, but that's not what it's about. You know, it's about finding, you know, realistic solutions that work for you and your home. And I'm all about sort of sustainability as well. And if you can repurpose and reuse storage that you've got, shoe boxes, Tupperware, takeaway tubs, you know, old Kilner jars, that is the first port of call. You know, I do have clients that say to me, oh no, if you're coming in and going to do it, you know, here's my storage budget. They do want to buy new, but normally I only bring new solutions with me as a sort of just in case if they're required on top. Everyone's different, everyone's home and needs are different, but for me it needs to be maintainable, if that's a word, and livable. You know, it's all very well folding things and decanting things and getting that perfect, you know, before and after shot, but are you really going to continue to do that? Whereas I'm all about, especially in the kitchen, tubs and turntables, you know, creating drawers within cupboards, within those awkward corner cupboards, because, you know, modern kitchens now are designed with drawers so you can see everything. But every time you go to the kitchen cupboard, you don't want to lift out 50 things of exploding flour and sauce bottles to get the one thing you need at the back. So there is, you know, storage solutions are necessary, but they don't have to be matchy expensive. And I work with what the client's got and needs.
Yeah, so around Christmas, obviously the kitchen is works really hard, doesn't it? I mean, it's, for me, it's the heart of Christmas in
Yeah.
the kitchen, doesn't it? So can you give us any kind of little top tips, you know, that maybe people could put in place today just to make their lives just that little bit easier with their...
Yes, I mean, I think, as you say, organisation is all year round, but now's kind of a good time to have a go, maybe implement a few of these strategies, because they will help you, especially if you're hosting the big day, as well as longer term. And the main thing I would say is don't try to do it all at once. You know, decluttering, things get worse before they get better. You need to make a big mess, and that's fine if you've got a whole day set aside. So go, you know, cupboard by cupboard or category by category, whether it's pots and pans, your mugs, your sort of pasta and tin cupboard, and try to get everything out, give it a little clean at the same time. And, you know, I have a rule of 3, and that's for anything I do. So 3 piles and 3 questions. So you have rubbish or recycling. Obviously, we try to recycle as much as possible, but if food's gone past its sell-by date, there's not much you can do with it. So rubbish recycling is pile 1. Donate to charity, pile 2, or sell. And don't underestimate sell. It obviously depends on the item, but in a kitchen, I'm thinking, that ice cream maker I've never used, or that waffle maker, things like that. Especially if they've never been used, or in boxes, or you've just used them, you know, a couple of times, they could be sold on Marketplace. And now's a good time because people are looking, you know, for gifts for other people. So 3 piles and 3 questions. So as you're going through your mugs, your pans, your water bottles, you know, do I use it? Do I need it? Do I love it? Because sometimes you have things that you might not use every day, and oh, you know, it's a bit niche, but oh, granny gave it to me, or oh, it makes me think of this. So you love it, so keep it. But need it, use it, love it. And if the answer's no, why are you holding on to it? And that's the filter I apply in my own home, and the sort of baseline that if I'm working with clients, I would sort of ask those questions and group things into those piles.
I love that. Really love those 3 questions. That's really kind of,
It's
yeah,
easy
covers
and
all
it's
of...
quick. It's quick.
Mm.
And so if you are doing a cupboard at a time, it's more realistic. You just sort of like plonk, 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 you know, a sort of quick and dirty clear out. And it is important to do that little recce and declutter first. I think people get a bit overexcited about, oh, I'm going to organise the kitchen. I'm going to go to Dunelm or wherever they're going and buy a load of baskets and this. Don't buy storage until you know what you really need in terms of storage, because if you've got rid of a third of your belongings, which sometimes people do in a session, you might not need to buy that. So do the declutter, then have a look at space and storage needs after you've repurposed what you've got. Buy additional things if you do, and then start the organize. And that's where I would say, you know, function over aesthetic, but if it looks nice, that's a bonus. Think about the function and flow of the kitchen, especially if you are cooking a lot all year, not just for Christmas. You know, pots and pans right near the hob, herbs and spices and cooking sauces need to be within easy reach. Yet the amount of times you go into people's houses and they say, oh, we moved in 6 years ago and we just put things away. But there is, you know, there are some places that lend themselves more to certain categories.
Yeah, that's really interesting. Yeah, so it's and I like the idea of just doing it like a drawer or a cupboard at a time, because sometimes it can be really overwhelming. Just like, oh gosh, right. And then, like you say, you make more mess before you get
Yes.
rid of anything, and then you can feel a bit overwhelmed and want to walk away.
You can definitely. And also sometimes thinking outside the box or being creative with ways to create extra space, because let's face it, nobody's really got enough storage space. And it's, you know, worktops, you know, are often cluttered. Well, that doesn't lend itself to calm or to joy or to the practicalities of having a food preparation area. The amount of things, you know, you want to be trying to put things away. Our kitchen's a good size, but we don't have a lot of worktop or that many cupboards. We have one sort of L shape. So we bought, I don't know if you can see behind me, a butcher's block there.
Yeah.
Second hand, but it's extended the work surface.
Yeah.
I've also then used that as our breakfast station, because I try to organise everything by category. So baking things like your sugar and flour and other ingredients are in one cupboard. Your sort of what's for dinner cooking ingredients cupboard, sauces and things like that, herbs and spices, are right next to the hob. But the breakfast station is there with the cereals. You know, don't get me started on decanting, but glass jars and decanting, it's not for everyone. I don't decant everything, but certain things like the kids' breakfast, I do, because we can see how much you've got. You're not buying excess. You know, you're wasting less because you can see what you've got, you use it all, you run it down, and then you know you need to buy some more. Similarly, we decant like pasta and rice, but not every category. And I've got one of those IKEA trolleys, which is hidden round there. That's got our glass jars of the dry goods on, because there is not enough cupboard space. So there are so many things out there designed to help you. And I feel like now when you go out and about or shop online, home organisation as a category has just exploded with solutions. Some, I would argue, are more effective than others, but some are truly helpful and life-changing.
Well, it sounds amazing. It sounds, it sounds really, really interesting. So just so that everybody who's listening or watching, I will put Rebecca's details in the information below this video. So if you want to contact her, go onto her website and see if she can help you, because it sounds like you've got some really good solutions there. How do you spend Christmas? What's Christmas like in your family?
Christmas is chaos because I have two little ones, 3 and 5. And I think each year, I think I'm learning a bit more about how best to approach the Christmas season, but also then how to actually experience it and enjoy it. And I think the thing to remember is, again, to be realistic and remember that you need to enjoy it too. I think there's a lot of pressure on us with the gift buying, the wrapping, the Christmas cards, if you still write them. That's one of the balls that I've put down already. Rather than juggle everything and drop a load at the 11th hour on Christmas Eve, decide I'm not going to write Christmas cards this year. And yeah, I might be hosting, but, and I can't believe I'm going to say this to you because I know you love cooking and baking, but cheating is okay. Guilt-free. I'm going to cook the Christmas dinner, but I'm going to buy a pre-made pudding. Just some little things that take some of the pressure off, because ultimately it's about being with the people you love and being present and enjoying it,
I
which is hard if
totally
you're running
agree.
around like a headless turkey
Yeah,
trying to
yeah,
do.
and I think you can. It's so easy to get caught up because often I think as women we make Christmas happen. So I think you're absolutely right. Is to how can we do that, and buy a Christmas pudding, buy some mince pies, get Auntie so and so to bring the whatever,
Yeah,
the
ask for
trifle.
help. Yeah.
Divvy it all out. If everyone's coming to you for Christmas, can you bring this, can you bring that, can you do that? Your job on the day is going to be to lay the table, and so yeah, I'm all for delegating. Absolutely.
Yeah, delegating, not feeling guilty about it.
Yeah,
Gatherings with family and friends, that's another tradition we do, because my family growing up always had an open house on Christmas Eve for drinks and a big vat of chili bubbling away. And my husband and I, when we first moved here, we started doing a Christmas Eve party each year. COVID put an end to that, and then children added a complication to that, twice the amount of people in the house, half of them kids. So we do it a bit differently now, and we do it on the 23rd instead of
brilliant.
Christmas Eve.
Yeah,
But that's a tradition that I love. And a Marks and Spencer's festive spice scented candle. I don't think they call it festive spice anymore. But it's like orange and cinnamon, and again, my mum had that room fragrance as I grew up, and it's very nostalgic, very Christmassy.
lovely. It's
Yeah.
interesting, isn't it, how smells can be very evocative of, really take you to a place
Yes.
or a time or something like that, can't they?
Yeah,
So
definitely.
oh, amazing. Well, that sounds fabulous, Rebecca. So thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you.
Have a lovely, lovely Christmas with your family.
And you.
Lovely. Thank you so much.
Great to talk to you.
Thanks.